Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Poets and Quants' online MBA panel, the Online MBA Experience. Today, we're joined by admissions and director experts from three elite programs, the University of Washington Foster, CMU Tepper, and the Jack Welch Management Institute. I'm your host, Christy Blyzeffer of Poets and Quants. Let's begin by getting to know our panelists. If you could please take a few seconds to introduce yourself and your school. And Jody, let's start with you.
Yeah, my name is Jody Farrell. I'm the director of the hybrid MBA program here at University of Washington Foster School of Business.
Very good. Thank you. And Meg.
Hi, everyone. Meg Lucas. I am the director of our part-time and online hybrid program at the Tepper School of Business.
Very good. Thanks. And Mary.
Hi there. My name is Mary Carr, and I am the dean of the Jack Welch Management Institute.
Great. Thank you all for joining us today. And of course, welcome. And Jody, back to you. Let's just start with the general introduction of your school and program, your mission and values, reputation, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our dean always says that our mission starts with the word together, because that's what we do. Together, we strive to create leaders that hopefully will build a better community and create an environment where everybody can be their authentic self. So we strive really hard for the we greater than me value. Our program is a 2-year lockstep team-based program. We've been around since 2017, so we're currently recruiting our 8th cohort. Our program is structured in such a way that we have quarterly immersions where students come to campus at the beginning of each quarter. Then they all go home and participate in Zoom class every week for the next 9 weeks, and also engage in the course content that we put in our Canvas course shells. And then we started again the next quarter. So 6 quarters we do that. We're together in person 7 times during the 2 years they're together. It's 50 core credits and 12 elective credits that they take. So yeah.
Yeah, very good. Meg, how about at Tepper?
Yeah, so I think kind of going to our mission and vision, we are, our motto would be data informed and human driven. So really leaning into our heavy analytics kind of quant background, and then focusing on leadership development and preparing future business leaders. Our program has been around since 2013, the online hybrid since 2013. Before that, we were into VHS tapes, but that was a little bit, before the fully online experience. So, and our program we have 2 different online hybrid programs. We have our 32-month standard program, which has 15 core courses, 15 elective courses, and a capstone. And then we have our accelerated version for individuals who already have a business background, and that's a 24-month program.
Yeah, very good. And sorry, go ahead. And Mary at Jack Welch.
Great, thank you. So the Jack Welch Management Institute is an online MBA program focused on working adults. We currently have approximately 1,800 students, about 20% international, and we're represented with about 4,000 alumni in maybe 80, I think it was 83 last time I checked, countries around the world. The average year's experience for our students, about 15 years, and they come from industries, whether it's retail, sometimes it's NASA, it's we have C-suite individuals, we have folks starting new businesses. Our student body is very, very diverse, about 50%. Last quarter, I think it was about 54% female, and all focused on leadership. So our mission really is to transform our students into leaders and to help organizations win. And it was our school was founded and created by Jack Welch, one of the greatest CEOs of all time. And so we take Jack's canon and principles, which other schools study. This school was built by Jack. And so we weave that throughout with a very clear leadership perspective in every single course. So you're always thinking from the C-suite. And If you're in accounting, it might be the chief accounting officer, chief financial officer. I think you get it from there. But really, our product is really focused with a leadership lens, and our faculty come to us with real world industry experience. So they've been there and done that and take a consultative approach with our students.
Yeah, great. Well, Mary, sticking with you, talk a little bit about the level of flexibility, pacing, class selection, required courses versus electives, asynchronous, synchronous, that kind of thing.
Sure. So asynchronous is you're all in online, but that doesn't mean you don't get to talk to your faculty members. Your faculty members are available to you every week. They hold what we call success sessions, which are opportunities for you to engage with your faculty one-on-one. And our faculty, our course size is 20-1. So our faculty have the opportunity to speak with you individually about your work here. We have 3 concentrations, one in HR, one in healthcare, and one in ops management. The program can take anywhere from 18 months to 36 months, depending on whether or not you take 1 or 2 classes as you go. Most students will start off with 1 because they are usually typically working. And then once they get their kind of rhythm and flow of the workload, we'll start to take on 2 as they progress and can complete that. On average, I'd say it's about 2.5 years in terms of completion for our students. Every course is very prescriptive. So there are 12 courses that you will take in the program. If you have a concentration, it's anywhere from 3 to 4, depending on which concentration that you take. And when you walk in the door, the first thing you do is really focus on you. You focus on your leadership skills, your executive presence and communication skills. And then from there, we start to go into business fundamentals. And towards the end, it's really much more of a synthesis of what you've learned along the way. So very prescriptive. Jack was an engineer. So our engineer students really love that each class sort of connects to the next one versus having a series of electives that you pick and choose from. We're very prescriptive in the tools that we give to you that we want you to learn today and apply tomorrow in the workforce, and then come back and tell us about how it went.
Yeah, very good. Jody, how about at UW Foster?
Yeah, like I said, our program is a cohort lockstep team-based program. So we don't have as much flexibility in terms of completion time as a lot of other programs. But the trade-off to that is that we have pretty close to 100% graduation rate in 2 years. Yeah. Students get the summers off between the 2 years. The first year is pretty much all core and team-based in that sense. So they really bond tightly with their team during the 2 years that they're together. The second year, they take elective courses. It's really when they get to know the other members of their cohort a lot better. And then we finish off the 2 years with a capstone competition that they get to participate in, that is a company-driven capstone. So, which is really neat. So they're together in person 7 times during the 2 years of the program. I'm pretty strict about that. Because it is really who we are. We focus not so much on being online, but being together, as stated in our mission statement. So, when we're together during these quarterly immersions, they meet with their professors, they go to class. It's the first time they take the class. Then we also do professional development, career management with them. We do some social networking. They get to meet other MBA candidates here at UW Foster. So it's a great opportunity for them to really engage and build community, and then work on the rest of the time on their coursework while they're gone. I would say the lack of flexibility in terms of some of the offerings that we have, once again, is strongly built by the student support structure that we have for our students. So we spend a lot of time making sure the students, we have peer mentors for them, we have alumni mentors for them, faculty mentors for them. We have a student group and a student council that helps support them. So there's just a ton of support for the students while they're deeply engaged in this very rigorous program for the 2 years they're here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Meg.
Yeah, so some of mine sound similar to Jody's in that we have these experiential weekends that we call access weekends, both for our core courses, which are required, and then we have optional experiential weekends as they get into the second and third year. Our program is it's intense in that it's essentially it's our full-time program put in an online format. So we're units based, which means that we require 192 units to graduate, but that's 64 credits for the program. So what that means is for the first year, a little over a year, it's very lockstep. So you are taking 2 classes every what we call mini semester. So we have 2 mini semesters per semester, and this is where we're giving our students that really solid core fundamentals of business that we really pride ourselves on. And then as we get into the second half of the year or second year, that's where students can specialize. And this is where our true flexibility comes through in that we offer 8 different concentrations for our program. We offer 3 different tracks, which is a deep dive in a specific functional area, including business analytics, entrepreneurship, and technology strategy and product management. You can specialize your capstone in our program. So we offer our management game simulation, which is a corporate company simulation, but with a true board of advisors, or we offer our sustainability capstone or a track capstone. So students are really able to flex there and really find a pathway that works for them. And what's unique about our program, I think, is that students can complete the courses in a way that's most meaningful to them. So if we have local students, they can take in-person evening electives, or they can take the fully online classes, or if they want to actually come and attend in person and take a full-time class with full-time students, they can do that. So that's where our flexibility really shines through.
Great. Jody, why don't you tell us about any concentrations at UW-Foster?
We don't do concentrations per se. Like I said, we have elective credits that our students take the second year. And the mother part of that is that students always want to take all the electives that they possibly can, but of course they can't. And so we created an alumni audit program where our students can come back as soon as they graduate and they can take any elective they want for free. And so they can be continuous learners, which we love, and we love having them come back. It keeps them engaged in the program. The faculty are super excited to see them back in their classrooms. So it's been a wonderful opportunity for them to continue to engage, also continue to learn, and something we're real proud of.
Yeah. Mary, any concentration or specialization opportunities at Jack Welch?
Yes, so the main pathway that most students take is our leadership pathway, but we have a pathway for healthcare, for operations management, and human resources. And those are pretty much the 4 things that somewhat align with our brand and what we're known for in business. And so we have professors that have worked in those industries that helped us create the content, and those are the main offering that most students take is definitely the leadership.
Yeah. Meg, we've talked about this, I think, a little bit at a couple of the schools, but these opportunities to bring OMBA students together, either on your campus or international or domestic trips or things like that. What kind of opportunities at Carnegie Mellon?
Yeah, so we have all of our core classes have what we call an access weekend tied to that. And that is Friday is all professional development and training for our students. So it might be that we're offering a leadership session or one-on-one coaching, or they're meeting with the Master's Career Center, or we've brought in another faculty within Tepper or outside within the greater CMU Carnegie Mellon institution to offer some skills-based workshops for them. And then Saturday, Sunday is kicking off classes where they get to meet their faculty in person. And then, as I mentioned in year 2, that's when those experiential optional weekends happen. And that's where we might be doing a 2-day case competition or an industry immersion where we get to expose our students to areas that they might not have a background in. And so that's how we're able to network and bring everyone together for those important times of development.
Yeah. Mary, are there such opportunities at Jack Welch?
Yes, our students get together in a few different ways. So it was interesting. Always before the pandemic, they would meet up in local cities. During the pandemic, we did a lot more virtually, and now we have a combination of both. So we have things every month where we have Coffee Connects, where students connect with one another online and can talk about anything that's happening in their day. We hosted about 80 events in the last year, virtually, whether it's with faculty, networking events for healthcare, for example. We held a live event with LinkedIn in Toronto just a couple weeks ago, where we had both we had lots of students and alum come in together to meet at LinkedIn headquarters and worked on building your brand and things like that. And so we host a lot of events live where it's more of a networking event, not a 4-credit event. And many of our students, we have ambassadors in cities all over the world, and they will schedule get-togethers where they get together for dinner or coffee or whatever it may look like that works for them. It somewhat happened organically, and we have these JWMI ambassadors around the world that get together and host events with students, and it's pretty great.
Yeah. And Jody, do you want to tell us a little bit more about your opportunities to bring students together? I know that you kind of said that was a cornerstone of your program.
Absolutely, yeah. In addition to our immersions, which are, like I said, 4 or 5 days at the beginning of every quarter, and then again at the very end of the program for our capstone, they come together, and we do capstone and then graduation, which is super exciting. We also have opportunities for students to connect. We do what we call company treks, where we go to Austin, Texas, San Francisco, Portland, here local in Seattle as well. And students go into companies, spend the day there. We usually do 2, 3, 4 companies over the 2 days that we're there. And students get the opportunity to engage with one another. Sometimes alumni are invited. Sometimes other programs here, MBA program students here at Foster are invited. So it's a great opportunity for them to not only just network with each other, but to also engage with the company on the company grounds and talk to their leadership, ask them questions. It's a super neat opportunity for them to do that. We also have the International Study Tour, which is in our summer. Students and alumni can participate in that. Last year we went to Argentina. Year before that we went to Spain. It's great to have COVID around, so we get back to doing some of that. They spend about 10 days there and visit about 9 or so companies, get to be part of that culture. So it's a wonderful opportunity, not just for networking, but also for learning. So.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Mary, do you want to talk about the key differentiators of the Jack Welch MBA?
Sure, I'd be happy to. When we talk about JWMI, we talk really about 3 different things that we feel like help us stand out. One is we're definitely student-focused, student-centered. The students come first and everything else is around the student, if you will. And so what does that look like? It means we survey the heck out of our students and we take their feedback and we integrate it back into the course all the time, to the point where students will tell you they've influenced decisions around books that we choose, classes that we offer, videos that we use, experts that we find. They feel very connected, and they are very connected to the process. And we have net promoter scores that are above 80 compared to other universities, which we're very proud of, which means our students say they'd recommend the program to those around them, which is great. The second I would speak to is our faculty. Our faculty have been ranked number 2 by poets and quants, and our faculty really truly are people who have been there and done that. So we are not a research-based institution. We don't practice tenure. Our faculty are given a scorecard every term. They know where they stand, and we celebrate our top 20%, and we have heart-to-heart conversations with our bottom 10 to try to help them get better or part as friends, if you will. And that is an integral part of our organization because those folks have been there and done that. So, for example, our leadership cohort is taught by a former CEO. We have folks who have been at VP and director levels across all kinds of industries, and they're the ones teaching the classroom. And then, the third is the content itself. So we're very proud that our content was number 2 for async, and it is driven, of course, by Jack Welch and his canon and principles, but it's constantly changing and updating. So you're reading the Wall Street Journal and you're talking about how would that apply today. You're not just studying Jack, you're studying leaders from around the world and what it means to lead today, what it means to motivate today, the impact of quiet quitting and things like that. We do all that we can to make sure that the assignments that we create are for the working adult. So if you're taking an HR class, guess what? You're going to write a job description, right? You're going to do the things that you're going to do when you practice. And we're really going to do all that we can so that you can take that material and bring it to your supervisor and see it come to life. So many of our students have brought their capstone project to life as a business or a project, or as an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur within an organization. They've taken those projects and brought them to life, improved a process, or saved money for their companies. And we think that that's what really stands out. Our students at the end of the day are the brand. Instead, it's not just Jack, it's all about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Jody, what about the differentiator of UW Foster?
You bet. Yeah, I think in addition to our quarterly immersions, which I'm not sure many of the programs have, but we do a lot of personalized career management with our students. And I think, at the end of the day, it's the ROI on the program, right, that matters for the students. And that's, are they able to job transition, change industry, change company? We've always ranked really high on that. And are super proud of the career management staff that we have. There's a lot of one-on-one career coaching that we do with them. Work with interview skills, work on their LinkedIn profile, on their executive presence, all of that. If they want to engage with an alumni mentor, they sure can help them possibly transition roles or transition industries. So there's just a lot of opportunities for students, literally once they get here first day, to start engaging with our career management professional development team. So it's a big deal. I think also our student groups, we've got student groups for our military students. We've always ranked high in terms of military, and we're super proud of that, as well as we have a clean tech and sustainability group, and these groups are really starting to grow. So it's been fun watching that. Our women's in business group as well. And these groups aren't just hybrid MBA students, but we welcome any MBA here at Foster into those student groups. And so that's been a big driver too. And I think like Mary's program, I think we're all pretty student driven. At the end of the day, she's right. It is their program, not ours. And so to get their feedback on terms of what we can do to make this program better. Some of that was that, the case studies in the curriculum, you wait for cases to be published. By the time they are, it's 3-5 years out and they're just not as relevant anymore. So our Foster faculty has decided that they're going to create their own case studies, which are much more relevant, much more current, and timely. And so that's been a huge benefit as well, with a lot of feedback from students in terms of what it is they're wanting to see in our case studies in their courses too. So yeah.
Very good. And Meg at CMU Tepper.
Yeah, thank you. I think our core curriculum and the fact that our classes are taught by our same top tier talented research faculty is definitely a key differentiator for us. That unparalleled flexibility that our students have when they get to their elective series, and they have a lot of options to choose from. And then I would agree, I think the return on investment from the program is really important, and our students do have access to our Master's Career Center and can work one-on-one with a coach. When we look at our career outcomes, 90% of our students have had either multiple promotions, one or multiple promotions, or career adjustments by 3 months out. And of those students, those that report income changes see a 46% increase in salary. So it's a really strong outcome for our students who utilize the career team and work with them. So, the in-person experiences in combination with the academics and curriculum, I think is kind of our bread and butter.
Very good. Well, Jody, going back to you, how would you say emerging technologies, AI, data analytics are changing the future of work, and how is your business school kind of responding to that?
Oh my gosh, isn't it though? Every day. Meg and I were just at a conference and we got to listen to a presentation on AI, and it just made me super excited. And I use it every day now. But yeah, I think I don't know how we can ignore all the changes that's happening right now. There's some great advantages to AI and some of the other technologies, things we're seeing in terms of like when I use it for automating some basic tasks during my workday. It does definitely increases some efficiency and productivity for me. And I think our students are going to see the same thing. That I'm sure they're using it at work as well, potentially at home for personal use too. I think companies are going to see that they can make better data-driven decisions. Probably provide better customer service, reduce errors and all that. Now, are there some downsides to AI? Sure. I think especially from an admissions standpoint, we got to be careful. There's going to be a lot of fake content out there and biases. I think we're also going to see some socioeconomic inequities based on that, potentially some more cheating, and maybe lack of creativity or individuality, when somebody else is writing their content for them. However, it ain't going away. And I think that the more we engage with it, the more faculty engage with it, I think it needs to be taught in the classrooms. I think it's going to be a skill that people are going to have on their resume soon, where they talk about the AI prompting skills that they have and their ability to use AI efficiently. So I think we're going to see more and more of it. I think we're going to see it quick. So our ability to adapt and be very flexible around AI is going to be essential. But I'm excited for it. I think our students are excited for it. And I think if we just engage properly and ethically with it, I think we'll be all okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Meg, what do you think?
Yeah, I think anytime that you bring in a new technology that has the ability to shape how we live and work, that's going to potentially bring some fear and maybe anxiety around how these technologies will impact our world that we live in. But I think MBA students have a really unique opportunity to explore this AI, generative AI and data as they're going through their program, and use it to help their companies actually lean in to these emerging technologies as well. And so I think through the curriculum, they have time to explore that and work with faculty, see the impact to Jody's point of ethics and ethical behavior with generative AI, and help their companies make forward-thinking decisions as they go back, continue in the workforce, and as they become leaders and grow in their career. So I see this as, skills that to be gained, and knowledge to be shared with their student peers who are also all working at different companies, and to use this to impact change at a greater scale.
Yeah, yeah. Mary, how is Jack Welch kind of engaging with those future technologies like AI and analytics?
Yeah, and I think both Jody and Meg hit the nail on the head, if you will. But here we have a couple things. I sit on a steering committee with JWMI is part of Australia University, and we have partners at Capella and a school in Australia called Torrens University. where we're able to leverage a lot of expertise from other schools as well. And we're all kind of in it together. We're sitting or attending conferences and doing the things with all of our peers at various universities to figure out, okay, what's the best way to present this as a skill set for our students to it's kind of the new calculator, if you will, in some ways. How do we teach around prompting and how do we work around proper citations or plagiarism and all the things that come with it? And those are the things that the steering committee is working on across the board and working with, it's been a nice thing across higher education, and that we're all feeling it together and trying to figure it out and navigate it together. But for our students today, we also leverage our partnership with LinkedIn Learning. There are courses available for them today because we have to give them something now, right? So give them courses on LinkedIn Learning and tools that they can use so they can learn about it and be smarter about it. And while we work on developing content and think about how we're going to get those applicable skills that are going to be needed in the workforce to use it. So we've started talking about it through webinars and having our professors speak to students about it, provided access to LinkedIn Learning, and we're working on policies and procedures right now around how to deal with it in the classroom. And I think, Christy, my answer a year from now is going to be a lot smarter than it is today because it is so new, but it's pretty exciting. And it's been a nice way to partner with folks across the board and all the kinds of universities from around the world, and hopeful that we get the best solution we can to prepare our students for what's ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to let each of you kind of give your closing argument, so to speak, and be sure to tell people kind of where they can, what's the best way to reach out if they want to learn more about your program. And Meg, let's start with you.
Sure. I just thank you to each of you to come together and have this conversation today. And I'm very happy to be, talking about the Tepper MBA program. I think, as we think about what our students need for tomorrow is we need to give them, broad business skills, help them have the analytical tools to impact change through data, give them the leadership skills that they need to carry out and use that data effectively and be strong future business leaders. And, I think our program does a really great job of creating a well-rounded student and future leader. And so if you want to learn more about that, you can reach out at our tepper.cmu.edu. You can find me. My contact information is out there. Meg Lucas, 2 U's, Lukus. And I'd be happy to help any prospective student learn more about the program.
Thank you. And Mary.
Well, thank you for the time today. And it was really great to hear about the schools and learn from all of you. So thank you for this. For those of you that are interested in the Jack Welch Management Institute, please don't hesitate to check out our website at jwmi.com. Everything you could possibly want to know is there, but I am also available on LinkedIn as well and would be happy to connect with anyone here to learn more. I think, the thing that I think about as the dean is I speak with students in their capstone course every single quarter. It's one of my favorite phone calls. It's where I ask them for what to change and what advice they give to new prospective students. And they always tell me to tell the new students that, hey, you can do it. You can find the time and you can get there, and that the flexibility of the program definitely helps you with that. But it's the lessons that you learn, it's the way that you apply it, and it's how you bring change, into the workplace. 2 out of every 3 students are promoted in their journey with us. But my favorite stat is that 98% leave with more confidence than when they came in. And that's truly the vision all along, is to build your confidence as a leader to help you when you walk across that stage. But I'm here if you have any questions at all. And thank you for considering JWMI in your journey.
Yeah, thank you. And Jody.
Yeah, thank you. I think I'm going to go back to our mission statement when I talk about who we are, and that's building a community together. And I think our program is pretty structured, honestly. I know students are wanting flexibility, and our program isn't really that in terms of the opportunities to take classes when you want. We're full credit load every quarter. And so I think it's real important when students think about what programs they want, they really figure out what it is that they need and what it is that they can fit into their lifestyle, right? That's very important. You know, if you've just had children and are starting a new job, maybe a rigorous structured program isn't the one for you. You want a little bit more flexibility. However, if you're looking for a program that has a ton of student support around it and looking for getting done in 6 quarters, 2 years, then this program is a good program for you. I think in terms of the academics, you know, I think we're very similar. I think some are going to vary from program to program. However, I think the basic core content of the MBA is the same. And so I think then you're looking at other co-curricular activities and what you want to be involved with in each of those programs. So I think that's important too. And career management outcomes, of course, are going to be ROI, like we said, is always important. So I think if you want to be part of a community and really engage and be part of a place that's going to create leaders that want a better humanity, then that's really the kind of students we want here at UW. I think any of the 3 programs here represented are pretty great programs. And I think the students that spend time doing their research, I think they'll find the right program for them.
Very good. Well, thank you for all 3 of you for your time and expertise. And of course, thanks to all our listeners out there. And remember that you can find a lot of other great interviews with, just great programs from around the world on our Poets and Quants YouTube page. So until next time, you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.